Fulham are an example of what not to do when you come up into the Premier League. They've been relegated twice in 3 years, which is unacceptable. And it's almost as if they haven't learned from their mistakes. All the mistakes they made 2 years ago, they've made all over again this season, which is mind-boggling. One of the mistakes they made was not fixing that defense. Now, their defense this season was nowhere near as bad as it was 2 years ago, but it still needed some addressing. I'm sure Scott Parker in the summer would have taken a look at this. He would have seen how Fulham performed previously in the Premier League so that he can prepare his side as best he can to be able to deal with Premier League football, but it seems that this wasn't enough. I think what Scott Parker needed to do in the summer was do some serious drill training. So looking at different formations and looking at which one best suits this team to try and stay up in the Premier League. But I'm also pretty sure that Scott Parker is quite a stubborn manager. He did make changes during the season, but it was nowhere near enough to be able to keep them up. And also, the changes he made didn't really change the team that much. It made the team more solid defensively, but I think it really sacrificed other areas of the team, which, if he'd put more thought into it, the team could have played a lot better had he made different changes. If that makes any sense. Now, looking at this, obviously 2 years ago, they conceded 80 goals, and they won 7 games. They also picked up 26 points, which sounds a lot like this season. Because this season, the team picked up 26 points, exactly the same as, when they were in the Premier League previously. They also conceded 53 goals, so defense has improved, but it's still not that great. And also they won 5 games, which is pretty abysmal. It's actually worse than previous Premier League campaigns. And yeah, this is actually pretty poor. And obviously the start of the season didn't really help either, because Fulham conceded 10 goals in 3 games to start the season. So they're already on the back foot. They started a trend of defending poorly in the Premier League, which is something you never want to do. Because they started the season like this, they were already playing catch up. They had to try and scramble, yeah, that's what I'm looking for. They were trying to scramble to look for a way to stop these goals from going in. But at the same time, they were sacrificing from their attack. So, it's never a good situation to be in. Obviously, their attack wasn't great either this season. That's something that needed addressing. And I think Fulham just had too many issues this season. They were poor in attack, they were poor in defense, and, I think that, there were games that they did create a lot of chances, but they weren't really good quality chances. So you'll see a team like Manchester City, which, a lot of the times, like, the ball will be on a plate for a player, like they'll be like 5 yards from goal, almost like a tap in. And Fulham didn't create a lot of chances like that. A lot of them were kind of like half chances where they were on a bad angle and they had to try and like beat 2 or 3 players just to try and get a shot on goal. And yeah, I don't think that was ever going to work out. Obviously, some of the results they had, they had a lot of poor results. Especially that 3-0 home defeat to Aston Villa. That's where you really saw that Fulham had a lot of problems, all over the place, and it was always going to be tough to try and rectify that. And that's about it.